Welcome back everyone to the Elite Series for the game between Dynasty and of course FULLCLEAR Esports. My name is still Daniel and I'm still alone. So yeah, you guys are my co-casters today. Let me know in chat what you think. Who is going to win? What are the picks going to be looking like in the Champ Select, which we are also heading in right away between these two teams. And as I talked about it, I think we have to look out for Clad and Los Lunio. We have to look out for those bans. There's going to be the Mundo. There's probably going to be a Hackerim. And there might be a Clad. Then we got LeBlanc being banned against Frankie. Has been playing that a lot also. After winning against the LeBlanc of Zillax, he adopted that himself. Also, Nico, a very strong champion of himself, so you can really see a focus of FULLCLEAR Esports here against Frankie. They seem to be pretty afraid, but I think Zeri is also a ban they should be looking into here, because Dark Unity on that Zeri was a beast as well.
No spark between us anyway.
There we have it. Perfect prediction today. So the question now is, of course, what are the teams going to be picking? And Dynasty goes with the Lucian. So a very aggressive AD carry. One that also falls off into late game. But we have seen in the last game that those aggressive mid lane comps can work very well as well. And FULLCLEAR Esports is going to be claiming that Milio right now. Something we haven't seen a lot yet because it has been banned pretty much all game. And an Aoi for Mike Moyes, the mid laner of FULLCLEAR Esports. So far, a lot of AP. It's going to be a Yuumi together with the Lucian. So, still keeping the aggression in mind, but also a little bit of peel there. Peel that can keep up a little bit with the Milio. And some poke. It's going to be a Lissandra here for Frankie as an answer to the Ahri. Very mobile champion, and on the other hand a very CC heavy champion that can try and shut her down. Now the question is which AD carry will Mary opt for, and it's going to be the Jinx. So FULLCLEAR Esports definitely saving themselves a late game with that pick. And also, very decent team fight so far.
Who questions my ability?
And then we got some jungle bans coming out. Those, of course, haven't been picked yet. So do the top laners. So Dynasty in a position here to really ban those out. I mean, they have started off their banning phase also with 2 jungle and 1 top lane ban. Then
If I want your opinion, I'll
a
beat it out
Wukong
of
bang
you.
against Dynasty. Against their German jungler. Dynasty staying true to their tradition, having German junglers that play Wukong. With Hamulu, of course, following up Scan from last split. It was a very cool jungle. I miss Scan. And it's going to be a Waxeye. Of course, with so much banned out, the picks get a little bit more creative. Waxeye, something we haven't seen in Div 2 just yet, but I think it's a very good pick. It fits the team comp. He has a lot of, or she has a lot of team fight potential. And then Dynasty is opting for Nocturne, adding to their early to mid game comp, adding to their comp that loves skirmishes, and the Shen on top of that. Okay. In my opinion, the Dynasty team comp is one that fits together really well. But I'm gonna talk about it in just a bit, because we're going to take a look at the last pick first. What's it going to be for the top lane of FULLCLEAR Esports? And they're answering with a Mordekaiser here. So now, having both these team comps ready here for us, we can see that, yeah, I think Dynasty really went for a team comp that screams mid-game, that screams skirmishes. They want to have, what's the word? Not overhead, but they want to have more people than the others. They of course got Shen, which has double TP, which can always join. They got Nocturne, which can join over half the map and haul everything into darkness. They got Lissandra, which is also a very roam strong champion, and then Yuumi of course also can roam pretty well, can help a little bit everywhere. So I really like the Dynasty team comp here, but I think the FULLCLEAR Esports is not to be underestimated as well. We got Mordekaiser on the top lane, which is, in my opinion, a direct answer to the Shen. They wanted to answer the Shen with the lane bully to try and keep the Shen down and small. And for the West, they got a very strong team fight as well. They got the Waxeye, which brings the Engage. She brings the knock-ups. She brings CC. They got an Ari, which is an assassin, which can jump in behind, which can try to get the Lucian out, which can try to answer a Nocturne, Lissandra. And then you have a late game carry together with a very strong support in terms of the Jinx and Emilio on the bot lane. So I think FULLCLEAR Esports should, I mean, Mordekaiser should be fine on the top lane all by himself. They should try to get their bot lane ahead. They should focus a little bit about that Jinx in order to secure themselves the late game. And then if they manage to do that, they are in a very good position. On the other hand, Dynasty, they want to be all over the map, but I mean, Shen is not exactly your power pick you want to play against, so Hazaki is going to play weak side as well for Dynasty, and then it's going to develop a lot around mid lane and bot lane, I think, the upcoming game. Yeah, we are, by the way, waiting for the Formula delay, of course, so we'll be heading into the game shortly. So yeah, having seen the team comps, what are your predictions? Do you think Dynasty or FULLCLEAR Esports has done the better job here? I mean, it's very hard to say. I kind of really like the Dynasty team composition, but then of course Score also speaks for FULLCLEAR Esports, but so did it for Aurora, and JMGG showed us a perfect game. So maybe today is the day of the upsets. Maybe today is the day we will see some of these standings mixed up all over the place. But it would be an important win for Dynasty to claim. Or in the one. For the players, of course. Because only the upper four are going into playoffs. The lower two will have to defend their spot against the challengers of the amateur circuit, where of course FULLCLEAR ESPORTS Next and JMTG came from. So yeah. Both teams also teams I personally really like. I think they have been showing us great games. Especially Dynasty, which are kind of on their redeem path here. But also FULLCLEAR ESPORTS, which I didn't expect to be in the second position, to be honest. And which have been showing us great skill. I mean, they also got some really big players. I think Skyonage has been a part of Benelux esports since pretty long. And then we got people like Gallop, which are just also very interesting and funny and unpredictable in terms of what they pick and what they play. And so yeah, looking forward to the game. Which we are jumping into right now. Also, Dynasty against a FULLCLEAR esports for you, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between and outside. How are both these teams going to approach the first minute? Are we going to see any invades? Dynasty and FULLCLEAR both grouping up a little bit, coming out of the base. We might see a little bit of an aggressive play here. Dynasty have grouped up. And also Frankie and Mike Moyes going to meet here right away. Frankie does hit the Q, but the REW dealing just as much damage. And I would have loved to see the range from Gallop there. If he saw Hazagi moving, or if he perfectly moved to the shadow there.
Minions have spawned.
We'll have the backport now. And both jungler seem to be starting top side. So going to be jungling from top to bottom and then looking for the scuttle crab. And maybe a level 3 gank on the bot lane. So that coming up in about 2 or 3 minutes. Ooh, the top laner's meeting there. Hazagi, who has been waiting for Lost Lunio, knows that with his Shen he can do something in these first levels. Gets out the auto attack there and the proc for a little bit of healing from Grasp of the Undying. In my bot lane we got the battle going on for who is hitting level 2 first. Both of them pretty similar in terms of timing, and Dark Unique drops quite low in that first skirmish there. Ooh, beautiful taunt there also from Hazagi, who is keeping Lustlunia at bay for now. But that's something we'll see develop a little bit of otherwise, I think, over the course of this game. Now Yuumi doing the best she can to heal up Dark Unique there. Healing pulse of course helping as well, especially in these early stages of the game. Now you can see both junglers are done with their bot side jungles. And Rek'Sai is going for the scuttle. Meanwhile, Humelu already approaching bot lane. But both junglers decide against going or trying to go for play here. Gallop approaching mid lane, but it's just going to be a pass by. On the way to the second scuttle crab, so Gallop is able to secure himself both scuttle crabs here. Is now looking for the top lane play here, as Hazaki is still very much forward there. Ooh, beautifully played there from Hazaki, however, to kind of duke Gallop into the cove there. And now Humelu is on the top lane as well. Gallop has the flash out, but the flash behind comes in, and there's going to be first blood for Hazaki. Wonderfully done from Dynasty, who in first were in the worst position there, but through a beautiful duke there from Shen, have been able to win the time for Humelu to come in. And that's an important one, because this gives Shen a big chance to keep up in the lane against Mordekaiser. Because I think a lot of times the duelist, the potential of tanks is underestimated if they get the lead. Now, Dynasty looking at Dragon here a little bit. However, don't have the priority on bot lane, so it's a little bit of a risky one. Oh, they did start that now, but FULLCLEAR eSports is of course aware of the situation. And they might even be looking for a contest here with their mid laner coming in. Question is, how much risk do they want to take? And in the end they decide to give that one up for now. So Dynasty not only been able to claim first blood, but also the first dragon now. But you also gotta keep in mind that they kinda have to a little bit. They got the mid game comp, so they want to have a strong early game. They want to get to their mythics, to their items fast. FULLCLEAR. They got time, they got a Jinx, they got a lot of scaling. And they don't need to take risks. Skirmish down bot lane, where we're tanking some damage. Doesn't matter. They will try to look for the backport now anyways. We have Rek'Sai counter jungling the blue buff, they were at least trying to, but I think she didn't take it in the end. Hard to judge just from minimap. So yeah. Once again, for those just tuning in, I am alone today to cast, so that's why you will witness a little bit more of silent. But here we have a play in the mid lane. Uniq, they have to flash out there. But they are going for the re-engage here with Humulu coming in with his ultimate. And they are going to be able to claim the kill there on Wexa and Merit. Just barely able to flash out, but it's not going to be enough as Ignite is going to take the kill there for Hazagi. It's going to be the second one here going to Shen. And also one to Frankie. Dynasty with that expanding their small lead they have been able to build up here. Of course, we're not talking just yet about a big difference in terms of gold. But it's okay. Ooh, Dynasty. FULLCLEAR trying to go for the catch here. Are we going in? Lissandra not able to use her W or E there correctly, and of course being interrupted by the charm. FULLCLEAR going to FULLCLEAR. It's going to be a welcomed one, I think, for their mid laner. Now also taking a plating there out of the mid lane tower, maybe even two. And a very big farm lead we can also see in the jungle, which I think really helps with keeping the gold lead of Dynasty at bay. For the West, interestingly enough, Ari decided to go for static shift here as well, so yeah, the item is really broken. We are going to see that on a lot of mid laners currently. Charm coming out there onto Frankie. Not going to be any further aggression though, no junglers in the surroundings. Humulu, however, on the bot lane now. Not standing on a ward, and he's going for the engage there. Darkness holds the rift as the ultimate from Lucian is coming in. It's going to be the kill for Shen, who decided to ult in there as well. However, FULLCLEAR is using the rotation there from Frankie, who in his ultimate will not survive long enough for his team to catch up, and is going to be a clean pick there for FULLCLEAR, which have just lost their bot lane to Dynasty here. But at least FULLCLEAR has been able to get a little bit of something there out of the situation. I think the game is looking good for Dynasty, but the problem is that all of the gold, all of the kills so far lie on Shen. And Shen is a lot. Shen is a perfect team fighter. Shen is a tank. Shen can even go for split pushes if he's way ahead. But Shen is not your carry here. So you still need to funnel more gold into the Lissandra and the Lucian here in order to really make that difference you want to get. But of course, Hazagi able to keep up pretty well against Loslunio, thanks to those 4 kills. However, FULLCLEAR, they might be down to try and stop this Shen right now. Gallop coming into the top lane there. Of course. One of the few lanes where Dynasty can't react as fast to to a play, because Shen can't ult to his onto his own. Now Gallop is coming in, Taunt is going out, but it's not going to do much as Hazagi tries to get under the tower and save himself. Gallop flashes out from the tower range, and Luslunio will die here to the tower, and even Hamlu coming in to kill off Gallop. So a 2-for-2 trade there, not perfectly executed to die from FULLCLEAR, and Dynasty taking their chance to at least even out the play. It's not even a 2-for-2, it's a 2-for-1. What am I talking? They're wonderfully done there by Hamlu, which is now also pushing top lane tower. They're even sharing the gold with Dark UniQ and the bot lane. It's looking fine for Dynasty, but I still think they should try to speed up a little bit, because they are still only 1k gold ahead. They do have 2 dragons, they do have 2 towers. And yet FULLCLEAR is able to keep up in terms of gold. It comes down mostly to farm leads also. Top lane, we've got a massive lead for Mordekaiser. Of course, because Hazagi had to be on other lanes a lot too. Both teams also have rotated their bot lane now to the mid lane in order to react better to objectives, and especially to the Rift Herald, which is our next objective of interest here in FULLCLEAR. They are going to be the ones that started and to take the upper hand here at first, but now the engage from Humalu going immediately onto Sky Onish. Yeah, they try to get that Milio out of the equation right away, and that works out perfectly for them. And now FULLCLEAR here on the back foot already. Jinx tries to kite as well as possible, but Wexa is going to be going down, and the heal coming in there just in time. So Super Mega Death Rocket is not able to claim a kill there for Mara, and with that it's going to be 2-0 in terms of kills for Dynasty, which are also able to claim the Rift Herald with that. Now really taking a purchase of their team composition, and if we look at the individual gold differences and see top lane, it's not that big of a lead, although Shen has 6 kills already, but of course the farm lead makes the big difference there. For the rest we see both teams still pretty even on all positions, as is the gold difference overall. Although I think it doesn't feel like it is even. Like, I mean, numerically it is, but if you are in the game, you don't see the gold, right? You just see 9-3, you see 2 towers, you see 2 dragons on the side of Dynasty, and I think in terms of FULLCLEAR Esports, you might get an impression here that you're definitely behind, and they are arguably currently just the weaker team here, as they're still waiting for Jinx to finish her mythic to really become a relevant champion and the carry they want her to be. Meanwhile, Dark UniQ, of course, already with a lot of damage on that Lucian. Already got 2 items finished there. Where now Humalu is going in there once again under the tower, but Wexa is coming in from behind there as well, is immediately going to be taunted though. Now try to save herself into the ultimate. Humalu is going down in the meantime. This fight just keeps going, but so far not a lot of deaths. We've seen just both junglers have been lost on both sides. And that's a good sign for FULLCLEAR, because now they see that they can keep up at least when it comes to a longer fight where the Jinx really becomes relevant then. Now, maybe the re-engage there from Dynasty. Hazaki going in with the taunt, but will be taken out right away. A little bit uncoordinated there from Dynasty. They should have tried to go in together more. Or just don't go for a re-engage. After all. And with that, another kill going to full clear, so the game definitely not over yet for them. Skyonicho will be catched here by the Dark Uniki Yumi combo. Another kill going to them. And with that, also Dark Uniki now in a very comfortable position, has been able to save up some gold through these last fights. And even got a shutdown on his head. Now the question is, how is Dynasty going to approach the rest of the game? They should try and look for the Baron. But they gotta do so in an intelligent way, because full clear is a threat. Now both teams looking to get some wards down. Clear the ones over the others. In that area. And both teams not too aggressive to take that Baron, as they know they might win or lose a lot. So they don't want to take unnecessary risks. Now we might have the engage here from Humalu. Dark Uniq with the ultimate going in there as well. Beautifully played with the Hazaki ultimate there as well. They are able to take the tower. On top of that, are going to lose their jungler though, however. And now also the skirmish there of the mid laners, and Frankie able to take the kill there with a beautiful flash auto attack to claim the life of Mike Moyes on Azari. And full clear now, trying to go for the engage there on the mid lane. Dark Uniq doesn't go low fast enough though. Of course, with Craplord as a support. Now, looking at the current state of the game, I would honestly say that maybe full clear starts to be in a better position here, because yes, Dynasty still has a little bit of a gold lead, and they good at Drake more, but full clear has been looking very decent in the last team fights. He got a strong team fight composition and they got a strong scaling, and now we are at that Drake. Both teams show interest in it. And maybe we're going to see the first real 5v5 team fight of this game. Drake has now also been started. They are going to be giving that round here. Dynasty trying to go a little bit for a burst there while Lost Boogeyman is away. And now the engage. Himalu going in Mordekaiser meanwhile already in the backline, disturbing Frankie, disturbing the rest of Dynasty, and FULLCLEAR uses the time to try and claim the Dragon. However, their top laner is down now, and it's going to be Dragon going to Dynasty, to FULLCLEAR, but to what price? Because Dynasty is still strong coming in. They take down Mera. They should be able to take maybe even more. Skyonage pretty low there. Is he going to die? Might even get away here. So, in the end, a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 for Dynasty here in terms of kills. But Drake going to FULLCLEAR. Dynasty reacting by taking mid lane tier 3, opening up the base of FULLCLEAR for themselves. I mean, I guess they can afford to give that Drake away. Question is, what is their game plan here? FULLCLEAR. Was a risky play. They still got all the options. And now another engage coming in there from Dynasty. Humulu immediately into the backline onto Mera. They are able to take out the AD carry. With that, it's looking dire for FULLCLEAR, and it's going to be a double kill right away, taking out Middleo as well. And with that, Dynasty in a good spot to start off that Baron. Maybe zone off the whack side there with Frankie. You try to look for the catch. Laslunia is in the vicinity. And Gallop. FULLCLEAR, how much can they really do there? And in the end, they decide to not contest the Baron. Instead, they try to go for a push there onto the mid lane tower. But that's only a warm or a drop of water onto the warm plate. As with that Baron now, Dynasty is in a very good position to start pushing. And maybe even conquer the base of FULLCLEAR Esports here once and for all, as we have another engage there from Dynasty. Laslunia is in the backline, but how much can he really do? Will be able to take out Frankie, but will go down himself as well to Dark UniQ. And then Humulu once again going for the engage. How much ultimate does this Nocturne have? Double flash there from Gallop and Mera to save themselves. But for how long? Dark UniQ finding Gallop there. Can deal a lot of damage right away. Can they really go for a 2v3 here? They immediately go on to Mera. Azagi ulting in there, and it's going to be a double kill for him once again. I feel like this Shen also TP's in to kill steal sometimes. Beautifully done. Tower being taken. And now Dynasty really pushing the inhibitors there. This is looking really good for them. Dynasty pushing for the towers there. They do have some pretty low members, but with the respawn timers of FULLCLEAR Esports being delayed, Rek'Sai once again being taken out, Mera now all alone. This should be the game for Dynasty. They're even going for the kill there onto Mera. And with that, Dynasty take another very important win here. And are able to claim, I think, their 4th victory in ESLOL. Yeah, should be the fourth one. And of course, we also will have an interview after this game. We got Frankie, who is getting ready, and once Wajie has him ready, we will go into the interview after this beautiful game, which looked good for Dynasty from the beginning on, and then they really pushed through with their mid-game composition. Okay, then let's go. Frankie, welcome. Ah, cool. I can even see you. Oh, but your name is wrong. I'm quickly gonna change that for you. So, what is your impression of the game? How did you think you guys performed? Are you happy?
Just in general, the last few weeks have been a little better for us. I think this game as well, we had a clear game plan, and I mean, went maybe a bit overboard sometimes by engaging a bit too hard sometimes, but yeah, I mean, it worked out.
Yeah, I think Kumulu on the Nocturne really worked out for you guys. Some of these engages were really well timed. But yeah, you already talked about it. You had a very tough start into the split, and now you came back. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about how you did it.
How we did it? Well,
what changed?
What changed? I'm not quite sure actually, to be honest. At the start, when we started playing together, it went really well on scrims as well. And then we just suddenly, like, we lost everything. We lost almost everything in scrims. Our first official games, we lost. But yeah, we just kept on playing and, well, trying new things.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, what are the enemies you're most afraid of in the second division?
Rift slots, definitely.
Okay.
Especially their mid laner is really good. We talk a lot outside of the game. Maybe exaggerated, but he has some good picks. He plays really well. Even, like, he used to only play assassins, now he doesn't anymore. So yeah, they're getting more versatile as well, especially this. I mean, they're always exciting.
Okay. What do you think of Aurora? Because I think that game was a pretty important one for them, but also for you guys, where you have been taking out Zilux a lot. So how did that game feel for you, and in general? What do you think of the team?
Well, we started that game. I think that was the first one we got. I'm pretty sure first win we got, and the early game also went pretty bad for us. So at the beginning of the game, it wasn't too great. I mean, like you said, we made a lot of catches on them, especially on the LeBlanc, which really made us able to get back into the game. They gave us a lot of farm as well by having our inhibs down. So we got a lot of resources in those games, which made it as long as we didn't lose, we were ahead basically. So yeah, and from then on, it felt really good to finally win a game. And then I also feel like we started playing better. I don't know, it probably doesn't have anything to do with it, but with each other. But I mean, it seems that way.
No, but it's true. I think you had a rough start, and then you started going up, and now you are contesting for the playoffs again. And I really wish you the best of luck to make it there. Maybe just one more short question about your lane. Static shift meta, is it something you want to end, or
yes, get it out of here? It's so unskilled. You just walk up to the wave, you hit it once, you can't contest it. Get it out of here, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Frankie, for your time, and we are going to head into a short break, and then we'll see each other shortly for the next game. So stay tuned and see you soon.